Double salute to the Black Goose TV family. It's your boy Fluence Boxing. I'm back at it again with some more Fluence Boxing news coming in the form of reaction video. Zurdo Ramirez response to Canelo Alvarez. We all know Canelo Alvarez went somewhat viral with his statements that he made the other day. And if you don't want to say he went somewhat viral, he definitely did go somewhat viral in the boxing community at the very least, because everybody was covering it. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was trying to figure out if what Canelo had said was something that we should get behind or if it's something that we should push back against. Now, it definitely divided the boxing community. And what am I talking about? Obviously, Canelo said, hey, look, I've done a lot in my career. I've accomplished a lot, won a lot of belts. I plan to keep doing more. But because of how much I have accomplished, the position that I am in, I am hoping, or my goal is, or at the very least, my mindset, I ain't fighting no Mexicans anymore. I'm done with that. From here to the day I retire, whatever day that may be, I plan on not fighting any Mexicans because that's not what I want to do. Now, obviously, you had a lot of people feel a certain way about that. You had people saying, I don't understand that. That ain't right. What if you heard, Italian fighters say, I'm not fighting no Italian fighters? If you heard a UK fighter say, I'm not fighting no UK fighters? If you heard African-American fighters say, I'm not fighting no African-American fighters, there would be uproar, right? And then you have the other side where it was like, I understand, what I'm saying? He's done so much in his career. As of now, he really wants to get behind his, his who he is, his nationality, etc., and really show, what I'm saying? And then you have people in the middle where it's like, well, I don't even know how to feel about this. I've never heard anybody make a statement like this in my life. And yeah, okay, I got to respect him for saying it. But at the same time, we're going to miss out on some big fights because as of right now, two of the biggest fights that Canelo could have outside of, the Triple G fight, the Bivol rematch is definitely against two Mexicans, which is, who Bivol's fighting up next is Ramirez and then you got David Benavidez. So it's kind of it's the double-edged sword for sure. But now, with that being said, we have a Zurdo Ramirez response to what Canelo said. You guys can see the title over here. You can see the title below. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know if that's word for word, if he really said that. I've already been clickbaited once when it comes to one of these reaction videos, so I don't want to go too much into detail, acting like I know exactly what he said. But it seems like the only person who is sharing the opinion or the idea of Canelo is Canelo himself, because at the end of the day, this is boxing, this is fighting. Canelo's made his money, so he can say things like that. Zurdo Ramirez is like, yo, I ain't had that big money fight yet. Like, nigga, you talking about I only fight, man? Like, nigga, let's come on, man, let's get it. I want to fight you now. I'm assuming that. I don't know if that's a fact, but first and foremost, I want to hear what you guys think about Canelo saying something like, "Hey, I don't want to fight any more Mexicans in my career." How do you guys feel about that? Do you think it's a cop out? Do you think it's just being someone that's really for his country, really for his people, or do you think it's just like Canelo talking to an extent, and he's feeling himself and he feels like he has that much of an ego to dictate who he fights, etc., etc. But with all that being said, we all know Zurdo Ramirez versus Bivol is happening November 6th, 7th, something around there in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi. So, of course, we know the winner of that fight is going to want that Canelo fight because Bivol, if he beats Ramirez, most likely we're going to have Bivol versus Canelo too. If Ramirez beats Bivol, Ramirez is going to be calling for the Canelo fight because he's saying, why would you want to fight Bivol, but you're not going to want to fight me? You're saying if Bivol beats me, you want to fight him, but if he loses to me, you don't want to fight me because I'm Mexican? But with all that being said, man, let's get into this reaction video. Let's see what Zurdo Ramirez had to say word for word. Before I do that, man, please make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment on this joint, notification gang, get my boy, get your boy into the algorithm, show some love. You already know what it is, but let's play this video, man. Let's see what Zurdo Ramirez had to say about the comments Canelo said about not fighting any Mexicans from here on out.
Everything you saw?
Good. So I just wanted to start by asking you about something. I was talking to Canelo this week at his workout in San Diego, and he says if you beat Bivol, he will not fight you because he doesn't want to fight a countryman. He doesn't want to fight another Mexican. What did you make of those comments?
Well, as a fighter, I want to fight with the best anyone, and in the ring, and two Mexicans in the ring guarantees a war, and I don't know why he don't want to fight any Mexican, but who knows?
You're American citizen, though, right?
Yes, I'm American citizen. Well, I'm resident. I will get my citizen in September.
Oh, congratulations. I was wondering too, since you're in the picture too, is that, is this about not fighting another Mexican or not fighting a fighter from Golden Boy?
I don't know. I mean, you would have to ask him. I mean, look.
Great question. Great question. You see how my guy over there, he was like, let me avoid that because you're trying to start some shit. But that was a great question. He said, because I didn't even think about that. That didn't even cross my mind. He was like, is this really about him fighting another fighter from who's Mexican? Or is it more so he does not want to give any Golden Boy fighters a chance because he's like, fuck Golden Boy promotions. That can be very real. But at the same time, some will argue, well, yeah, he said that, but is it just directed toward Ramirez because he also has David Benavidez, and that's with PBC, which he's done a deal with PBC before, co-promotional deal, and he fought Caleb Plant. But at the same time, Caleb Plant wasn't Mexican, so there is like I can see people who are Canelo fans saying, well, no, I don't think it has anything to do with Golden Boy Promotions or just Ramirez because we have David Benavidez, and he's saying he won't. Well, we don't. He didn't say he won't fight David Benavidez, but if he's saying he won't fight Mexicans, he won't fight Benavidez, and well, he's already, you know what I'm saying, been in a position where he's done a deal with PBC. He's made that happen. And if it needs to happen, he can make it happen. So it's weird. It's kind of a very interesting thing. But I think that's an amazing question from the interview. I would have never even, not that I wouldn't have thought about it, because I definitely didn't think about it. It didn't come across my head. But for me, I'm like, wow, that's a good question. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. If you want to be 100, I don't think that's the case. I think, you know what I'm saying? He understands business. He understands money, et cetera, et cetera. So at the end of the day, I don't think that's the case. I don't think he's running away from money or anything like that, where he's specifically saying, Oscar De La Hoya, I hold this against you, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I'm saying? But great question, nonetheless. Let's go ahead and keep going.
Zurdo's clear since we started working with him and his team, his manager, David, they want the best fights. We're happy we were able to get him this fight. And we want to thank Gilberto Mendoza from the WBA keeping his word as the mandatory. But look, that's what he wants, to be great. You want to fight the best. Canelo's a great champion. He's earned the right to be able to pick and choose who he wants to fight. If he doesn't want to fight him, then we'll move on. But, I mean, he wants to fight the best.
Yeah, Zurdo, as you look at this fight against Bivol again on November 5th in Abu Dhabi on the Zone, when you have to be concerned with his jab. It was so effective against Canelo. What, as you look at Bivol, what is the thing about him that most concerns you as you head into this fight?
I don't know. He did well with Canelo, but it will be totally different with me. I'm taller than him. I'm been working in the gym, and I'm confident that I can beat him. And I mean, he has to be worried.
What would you identify as your greatest advantage? We know, like you said, you're going to bring.
I'm a fan of Zurdo Ramirez. I'm not as familiar with him as I am with Bivol. I've watched Bivol for a very long time, or not a very long time. It's been about 4 or 5 years now. I'm fucking 28 now. I've been watching him since I was like 23 years old. So I've been familiar with Bivol. I haven't been familiar with Zurdo Ramirez. I just came upon Zurdo Ramirez maybe about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Snipers was the one who put me on. So I don't know. It's very alarming to me to hear somebody say, I don't know what somebody else's best. He asked him, like, are you worried about the jab? Are you worried about how good, you know, he utilized? And Zurdo was like, I'm not really sure what is. I just know I'm a different fighter. I don't like hearing that, because that kind of tells me, I'm like, okay, you're very confident in your record and what you've done, but it seems like you're maybe misplacing or at least disrespecting Bivol a little bit, where you possibly feel anything he can bring, it doesn't matter. That might be a problem, because you can see Bivol is the total opposite. And I did a reaction video to both. Obviously, I didn't go through the entire interview. Both of them was actually centered around the Canelo questions, but I went a little bit farther into both. And I'm just like, remember, he's confident. I give him that. But don't think just because you're bigger than Bivol, that's going to utilize against him. Joe Smith Jr. was bigger than Bivol. I would love to see Joe Smith Jr. versus Ramirez. I think that actually would be a banger of a fight. This is going to be a good fight, guys. I can't wait for this fight. It's a while away, November 5th, whatever the fuck they said. It's a while away. Can't wait for the fight. It's going to be a good time. Let me know what you guys think about what Zurdo Ramirez said about Canelo not fighting Mexicans. Ramirez's response was, I'm getting my American citizenship. So how do you guys feel about that, man? How do you guys feel about Bivol versus Ramirez? You think it's going to be a close fight, whatever the case may be, man? Much love to people. Much love to anybody who's supporting the channel, man. Keep supporting it, man. I'm going to keep dropping shit. Y'all already know what it is, man. I love this shit, and I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all, BlakGooseTV family. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Road to 5K. Y'all already know what it is. Notification gang. Comment on this joint. Give me an algorithm. on the Arsenal Schwarzenegger side of the game. I'll be back, but with more boxing. Stay blessed, nice.